Yo, what's going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this one, I'm going to give you guys a quest walkthrough of Umaril the Unfeathered. Now, this is actually a somewhat simple guide where you have to go and take down one of the major bosses in the game in a dungeon at the far west end of the map. So if we fast travel over here to these stables, we can very quickly walk over to the shrine. So this is actually the entrance to the shrine. I didn't want to waste much time with walking over here as the waypoint is on the map. Now, once you guys get here, the dungeon will be moderately simple to get through. However, there are a few special steps you have to go through in order to complete this fully. Now, also, guys, there are going to be some special things to pick up after the quest is over. There will be a bunch of special blessings and spells to retrieve, which the game will not tell you about. So I'm going to show you guys how to get these at the end of the quest. Now, once you guys get in here, there is going to be this lever that you need to press, and there's actually a few levers throughout this area which you will need to use in order to get through in case maybe you guys do get stuck on any of the parts throughout the mission. Now I'm going to give you guys a full quest walkthrough. I'm only going to really pop in and talk when things are necessary. So for now, just clear out the dungeon as normal, and I will chime in when things do get stuck or we reach any dead ends.
Talos and the Nine. Talos and the Nine.
So once you do get into this next section, there will be a small lever on the wall in order to open up the two gates that you will be presented with. Now in the next room after this, you will be stuck in a room with a bunch of enemies, and it will tell you guys that there's 4 staircases. Now these staircases have to be accessed remotely, almost the same way as with these buttons. So very quickly, we're going to come drop down in here. I'm going to skip past me defeating all of these enemies, but basically just take all the enemies out in this room. What you'll do then after that is just progress further into this room. There's going to be a small hallway at the very back end. It can be a little bit tough to find at first, but just simply follow this hallway down here. Now there are staircases in this room that say they can be accessed remotely, but we will have to do that later if we just simply come up this way. Now, once you get through this portion after activating the orb, you will be presented with a boss fight in the next room, so you may need to prepare for that. Now, once you guys defeat the boss, you will have to cast a special spell in order to defeat the boss in his second form. So you may end up getting stuck at this portion if you weren't keeping track of the dialogue for the quest. After taking him out in the physical, you actually have to go into a spiritual world and take him out, and that can only be done by casting the spell. So very quickly, I'll show you guys how you can do that. Now, after taking out the boss, though, you're going to be greeted with another cutscene. You're going to be teleported to another area. Now, without spoiling anything, though, after the cutscene is over, there are going to be seven, I believe, seven different blessings that you can pick up. However, the game will not inform you about this, so I want to make sure that you guys do not miss those, as you will very easily walk right past them. And if you have already missed them, you can go back at any time, I believe, and actually just pick them up and use them throughout the playthrough. So very quickly, just take out the boss. After doing this, though, you will need to cast a special spell. As you can see here, it's the Blessing of Talos, which you should have retrieved at the beginning of this quest through talking to all of the NPCs. So you should go into your inventory, go up into spells, equip this, and then simply cast it to take out the boss in the second form. Now, once you take out the boss, you're going to be teleported back into the main hall where you were greeted by all of the ghosts that you were retrieving items for, the ones that you were basically questing for. Now, once this cutscene is over, though, there's a blessing for each of these knights, basically, and you have to go up to all of their altars, all of their bodies, and you can actually get the blessing off of them after the cutscene is over. So very quickly, I'll let the cutscene play out, and I'll show you guys how you can just simply retrieve the blessing from each of the graves, and you have to go into each one individually and grab each and every blessing. Now, once you do this, you can equip those blessings for the rest of your playthrough. So hope this does help you out, and I will catch you in the next one.
A debt of thanks. You have succeeded where we could not. You and your knights have held true to your purpose. At long last, our purgatory is at an end. We go to the glory of the Nine, to serve in their host in the life beyond this one. You may call upon our spirits when you need us. Simply pray at our tombs, and each of us will grant you a blessing from the Nine. May your sword serve the Nine all the days of your life, Crusader. Farewell.
Zenithar grants you good fortune. May you always endeavor to become the master of your craft.
Kinnereth grants you the swiftness of the wild, and the strength of your wit charm. Never allow the beauty of the world. The great mother endures.
All
Mara
that lives
grants
will
you
die,
her endurance.
and all that is dead will live
when
again.
all else fails you,
Arcade grants you the will
love
to
as a
reverse
power
the cycle. Julianus blesses you with his wisdom and his guidance. Trust in your knowledge, for it is the whole of who you